personal. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, interesting stuff coming out the welterweight division in the whole Spence Crawford Boots love triangle, so to speak, of the division. So first and foremost, let me give a shout out, because I'm all for giving people their flowers and their just due if they're putting in the work. And let me give my much respect to brother Jamil Parker. Jamil Parker, one of the best in the business, you know, doing a great job on his channel, YSN Sports Media, giving you guys world-class boxing interviews. And he's done another one with Showtime executive Steven Espinoza. So check it out. I will leave the link to the video in the description so you can check it out for yourself and come to your own conclusion, and not to take my word for what I'm about to tell you guys. So go check Jamil out, subscribe to YSN Sports Media, all that good stuff. But Steven Espinoza was talking about this recent situation with Jaron Ennis and the fact that his father had revealed recently in an interview that BLK Prime, who doesn't have Crawford under contract anymore, but has a working relationship with him, because remember, the Abnation fight was a one-off deal, but they did call Boots and his dad to try to put a fight together. To which Bozy Ennis stated that they should talk to his people at Showtime, right? So Espinoza reveals in this interview that there were conversations between him and BLK Prime about making the fight happen. And he stated that pretty much, like, Jaron Ennis, so in the beginning of the interview, he says that Jaron Ennis would fight anybody on a moment's notice. He then says that they would, them being Showtime, if there was a clear path to make a Crawford Ennis fight, that they would make it. But then he says BLK Prime didn't have much to offer, and that Spence and Crawford are focused on each other, which is why the fight is happening. Now, there's a lot to unpack in everything he said, so go watch the interview and come to your own conclusion, and then come back here and give your thoughts. But first of all, he stated that if there is a clear path to the fight, they'll make it happen, okay? Now, although Crawford is not under contract because it was a one-fight deal with BLK Prime, if they have that working relationship with him, with Crawford, and Crawford obviously, seemed to have done a good job with them, and I'm sure he'd be open to doing it again. If they're calling you trying to put together a fight, then why on God's green earth would you not try your hardest to make the fight happen? Because at the end of the day, right, although Bozy Ennis stated in his interview that Ennis isn't formally, they didn't actually sign a contract to Showtime. Like, he said that, not me. I'm not saying this. Bozy Ennis said it when he talked to Spencer Ferrano and them guys. He said that they never signed paperwork with Showtime. It's just, it was an agreement, 3-5 deal, whatever. That's what he said. Okay? So, if they're trying to put together a fight, your job as a guy who's in the Jaron Ennis business is to put on a fight with an opponent that will generate the most interest for one Jaron Ennis. Now, there is nobody in the division, apart from maybe Earl Spence, that will generate more interest or the same interest in fighting Jaron Ennis, amongst boxing fans. So the fact that you're saying that they didn't have much to offer is it's very troublesome, because let's be honest, let's be real. Showtime and PBC and Al Heyman, and I know Jamil got on me on Facebook about this, but it's just the truth. Like, their fighters don't have a long reputation of being the most active. And Jaron Ennis is the kind of fighter where, he's not going to talk a lot in the media. So I feel like he should be on TV as much as possible so people can see his great skills and see what he can bring to the table and get that out to the world so we can see the gift of boxing that he has. And I don't trust Espinoza. Why? Why should I trust Espinoza? Like, okay, he said Spence and Crawford are focused on each other. Since when? Since when? Since when are Spence and Crawford focused on each other? I mean, now maybe Crawford is focused on Spence. I say that. Maybe Crawford's focused on Spence. But we know Spence ain't focused on Crawford, because Spence has been complaining about going on 154 since like August of last year, or like September, like the latter part of last year. And we know that more than likely Spence is going to 154 to fight Thurman next, although nothing's been formally announced. So that's a lie. That's a lie. Because if they were focused on each other, we would have been got Crawford and Spence within these last, I don't know, 5 years or so, half decade or so. So that's a lie. The reality is, I feel like Showtime and Espinoza have their own plans for Ennis, and those plans do not involve fighting Terence Crawford, because what they're going to do, this is my humble opinion, and take it for what it's worth, it's an opinion. Everyone has them. They're like an asshole. Everybody has them, so take it for what it's worth. I genuinely believe that Boots Ennis, his next couple of fights, will fight somebody along the lines of like a Cody Crowley, a Romain Villa, something like that. Romain Villa, Cody Crowley, these kind of fighters. Stay busy, get a win, try to look more impressive than he did against Terence Crawford Jaron. Spence will then vacate the belt from the IBF because he will be moving up to 154. That belt will become vacant, and then Jaron Ennis will probably fight for the vacant title. That's the move that I think Showtime, along in conjunction with Cameron Duncan, is angling for. So when Espinoza does this double talking and these contradictions about, oh, one minute Espinoza's talking about we'll make the fight if there's a clear path, but then another promotional entity that has a working relationship with Terence Crawford, that we haven't heard nothing back from Terence Crawford about BLK Prime, so we can only assume that things went well. So if he has a working relationship with that company and they reach out to you about putting a fight together, you sitting there saying that we don't need them to negotiate, okay, you can negotiate with Crawford directly, fine. But then negotiate with Crawford directly. Do something. Because if we look at if history tells us anything with Crawford and Spence, there's no reason to think that Ennis versus Crawford's going to happen next. There's absolutely no reason, because Crawford already seems like he's got his stuff. He has a pretty viable option out there with Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar De La Hoya is hell-bent on putting a schedule of fights together. Alexis Rocha, Virgil Ortiz, things like that. So, I mean, Crawford's got options. I'm not saying that Espinoza can't negotiate directly through Crawford. All I'm saying is he's being very contradictory in his statements, and I see right through it. And then when you sit there and tell me that one of the reasons why the fight isn't happening is because Spence and Crawford are focused on each other, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit, because we know Spence and Crawford are not focused on each other. We know that. It's not something we have. Contrary to the Michael Coppinger reports about them negotiating on the phone, we know that more than likely we're not getting that fight. We know that. Okay, so that's just my thoughts. That's my little 2 cents on the matter. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you guys think? You guys think Steven Espinoza is telling the truth? He feels like BLK is not bringing much to the table. My thing is this. I'm not trying to pocket watch, but this is prize fighting, and if you're sitting here saying that they're not bringing much to the table, are you? The question then you then got to answer and ask yourself is, are they not bringing more than what, 400 grand or the 500 grand Boots Ennis has made in his career? I believe it's 400 grand or 500 grand or something like that. He hasn't made, I don't think Boots has touched 7 figures in any of his fights yet. He's a great fighter. He's a 7-figure caliber fighter, and I hope he touches those numbers sooner rather than later, because he deserves it. But when on God's green earth, so you mean to tell me BLK Prime that just paid Terence Crawford all these millions of dollars, they can't come up with a, 600,000 or something like that, 500,000 for Terence Crawford? You can't trust Espinoza. He's, first of all, Conor McGregor said it best. You know what he said about Espinoza years ago. I don't gotta repeat it. He's a lawyer and he's a network executive. And network executives, and I don't care if it's Showtime, I don't care if it's BLK Prime, I don't care, whoever it is. Anybody who's the director of programming, Joe Markowski at DAZN, you can't trust what they say when it comes to the competitive integrity of making great fights in boxing. You just can't. Okay? So that's my thoughts. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this whole thing. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.